Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo and we're here at Sunset Gower Studios in Hollywood, and I'm delighted to be joined with VONJAKO with his fantastic film, Valérine. Let's take a look at the clip. Well, Giaco, it's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for bringing your film to New Filmmakers LA.
It's my pleasure. I mean, it's fantastic. Like the organization is beautiful. It was a lot of fun last night.
Well, we can't do it without you, but listen, thank you so much for bringing your incredible work, Valérine. I am dying to go into the world that you created for us. It was such a cool world that you did. But for those that haven't seen it, tell us a brief synopsis.
Okay, Valérine is a music video. It's a short film into the dress of a music video. I mean, it's like I do a lot of music videos, but sort of like I try to insert short story, cinematic story into the whatever it's considered the genre of music video. So in this case, I try to create like an interesting visual representation of something that happens in your mind when you actually have to take an important decision. So it's a visual representation of try to fight against the other part that wants you to go in the opposite direction. It's sort of like the duality of life. It's like no matter what road you're gonna take, the important decision is the one you're gonna choose. So it's very visual, and I try to interpret this into this short film that sort of match, the song. So
yeah.
We're talking about music videos. So music video mostly are dictated by the music, but in my case, it's like, I try to catch the ideas and try to find the corresponded, music that might actually work with the idea. Usually, I have many ideas, but the difficult part is always like trying to find the right match. Sometimes
Absolutely.
the music comes right away, or sometimes like it takes 10 years, like in this case, which
Yes.
yeah, the idea came in my mind like probably 10 years ago, but
wow.
yeah.
I love that. So obviously, like, we're going to go into that. Like, obviously, the artist Elephant Man, which tells about how you and the artist came together.
Absolutely. Okay, so usually artists come to me in a different forms. They either like seen my previous work, and they try to contact me because they like my style, or somebody I got referred by somebody else. In this case, the band is called the Elephant Man. It's an interesting, I would call it like progressive rock, European band that somehow knew me through other artists and try to pitch this idea of making this video with their music. So usually they come to you and they just ask you to come up with an idea for the video, and then where your job sort of like starts, where you kind of have to either pull something out of your archive that you already had, like in this case I had 10 years before, and match it to the song, or maybe the song is gonna speak to you and you're just gonna come out with a concept that reflect whatever the song it is.
I love that, VONJAKO. I love that you had this idea 10 years ago, and then 10 years later, this idea came to life because you finally found the right fit. Like that, how did you know? How did you kind of know? Like that must have been a really great feeling to realize, like, oh, I finally found something that fits that idea.
I mean, it's I would call it, it's like, the first feeling is like when you listen to music, you either have an idea right away, because if you listen to classical music, if you listen to pop music, you close your eyes, it's sort of like paint a word around, it's either the words, it's either the music, it's either the vibe. So it's a hunch, it's something that you kind of like possibly know right away. If that doesn't really happen, that means like it's either like the music is not vibing with you, or it doesn't speak to you. So there is that kind of like process, right? The music has to speak with you. So I was saying, like, you know, in a music video, the most important things is the music, because my job is to just visualize, you know, sort of like what either the song or the vibe of the song would just like kind of like tell to the audience under my perspective, you know, and anybody can have a different interpretation. But the music is very important. So the music has to be good. You know, the music is sort of like the screenplay of the situation. So the artist is writing a screenplay, and then it's my job to just make it come out of the paper. In this case, make it coming out of the music. So.
Absolutely, we did a great job with that. I was captivated by this world that you created. That's obviously been long in the process, like the dynamic, the neon feeling, the production design, the costume, like everything. Like, how did you go about like creating that world? Like, what was that experience? Where did you shoot it? How did you shoot it? All those, it was incredible.
Thank you. So this is another aspect of music video. Just, you know, I embrace this idea that, you know, Stanley Kubrick used to say, to make a film, you just need a camera, an actor, and a microphone. Because, you know, it's all about the concept. It's all about what you can do with it. Of course, that concept can be, you know, enlarged to a much bigger crew, much bigger, you know, quantity of actors. It depends what you're trying to do. In this case, like music video, they're usually a big challenge, because you sort of have a lot of restriction, because an independent band doesn't have, you know, much money to let you create something really big. In this case, you know, it was really challenging, because I had this word in my head, but I've been doing this for a long time, so I had to troubleshoot how to make this happen with pretty much nothing. So whatever you see in this video is just me, the actress, and whoever gave me the car that is actually driving.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
There is no crew.
My goodness.
Yeah.
That's incredible. How did you do that? That's incredible.
I mean, there are two factors. It's like when you do, when you produce something, you either you have a limited amount of time, but you have money to make everything happen in a very limited amount of time with a much bigger personnel, or you have more time. In my case, I had few weeks. I mean, I took my time to make it. The video was shot in 3 nights. Probably there was like a 4 days to do some pickup scene, but mostly because it's all shot at night, there was a limited amount of time we had. I could not have an actress for a longer time each night. I mean, you know, and driving a car that is very visible, you know, that's sort of a very unique car that we use there, you know.
Yeah.
It's not the typical car you use.
No, it's grand, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
So, and the other side is like you sort of have, you kind of have, you know, a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
You know, because it's all about the casting, but it's about the casting, you know, for me casting is also like, the car is one of the characters of the film. You know, the location is another character. So it's not just the actor that you need to cast right, but you need to also cast the location right.
Absolutely.
You have to, in this case, you know, an object becomes like, you know, an important character of the film.
Yeah.
And in this, you know, in this particular case, somehow everything kind of aligned.
Yes, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
It doesn't happen all the time, but in this case, it happened.
What was the biggest challenge you had in making it?
The biggest challenge that I had is probably try to figure out how to make some of the scene, you know, without having a crew and a very limited time.
Yeah, of course.
Each night, you know, like the driving, you know, the driving of the car is like, you know, the actress doesn't drive. Okay, there is a particular thing into the video that not so many people catch. That car is a British car, so the steering wheel is on the right side.
Ah, yes.
Okay, she's driving on the left side.
I'm British, and I didn't even notice that.
So, you know, it's not perfect, you know, but the only person that could drive the car is the owner of the car. So I had to dress him up like her.
Okay. Oh, really? Wow. Clever.
Right.
I didn't noticed. Yeah.
You know, that comes handy because then you decide what she's going to look like. She's going to have a wig that is blonde, which kind of like pops into your screen, so
Yeah.
you're gonna recognize it from far away.
Mhm.
So that's a good element. You know, that's
No,
that's one of
definitely.
the decisions you have to make when you're actually making a project like this, where you have like limited amount of time, limited amount of resources, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We
And-
we don't often get to see the luxury of the music video on the big screen. What's that experience been like for you?
Fantastic, because like, you know, opportunities like these are gold, because you get to see your work, you know, on a large screen. Like we screened this before yesterday night. We screened it at Paramount Studio for another festival, and it was beautiful. Last night was beautiful too. It's just like we're so used to see things inside
I know,
this
exactly.
little device that
Yeah.
you kind of lose the, you know, the perception that you can get when you see things like a music video, you know,
Absolutely.
in a large screen.
Absolutely.
And,
No, I mean, visually, it was so beautiful to see on a
exactly.
big screen. So
you lose,
served it.
you know, you don't get to see all those details
Yeah.
on a small phone.
Absolutely.
Or on YouTube, you know.
yeah.
So,
What's next for you, VONJAKO?
what's next for me? I'm sort of like pushing myself to write a script finally.
Oh, good.
After many years. But I do a lot of documentaries, and I've been sort of like pushing up a bunch of like, you know, long feature documentary on my desk that they've been, you know, sort of like building up for the past few years that I would love to find a way to finance, you know. I have a serious idea in my head that I'm trying to put together. In the meantime, I keep doing music video just because it's my, I would say is my practice, you know, is my creative challenge that keeps me sharp, you know. One thing I wanted to say is like, filmmaking, guys, it's like cooking, you know. I'm a chef, so
Oh, I can feel you make some good food.
Right.
VONJAKO, I can feel it.
so you can have a recipe, you have like a list of ingredients, but the recipe is not gonna come out the same all the time, because sometimes you're gonna put a little bit more salt, some other time you're gonna put like, you know, there will be too much water, so it's a balance, you know. You kind of like keep cooking, and most of the time you're not gonna have all the ingredients, so you kind of have to improvise, and in this case, you know, find the right ingredients to make a music video like this. You know, we got lucky, we got the right tomato, we got the right pasta,
Yeah.
we got the right lemon, you know, and it was there. Some other times you don't have the lemon, maybe you have to find other ingredients that might fit there.
Yeah, that's
So-
so true. That's such a good piece of advice. I love that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this is something that it's, you know, it's an idea that's in me that I keep using every single time I have a film challenge that,
Yeah.
you know, that is on my desk that I have to troubleshoot, you know.
I love that. I love that. Well, can't wait for you to cook up your next film for us, honestly. But no, seriously, that's great piece of advice. But well done on creating this
Thank you.
world and you know, doing that the majority of yourself as well, and obviously with your other, you know, actor. But well done, and I'm sure the Elephant Man were very happy with what you created for them as well.
Yes.
So thank you very much, VONJAKO, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.